Warning: if opening your garage door requires a hard hat and a prayer to the safety gods, you are in the danger zone. Stop whatever you are doing. Today, we are attacking the horizontal panic method. This is where you decide shelves are for fancy people, and the floor is the only storage unit. Do not organize your garage like a game of Tetris that you are losing. Piling boxes until they touch the ceiling is not storage. It is a death trap. We all have that one corner, the corner of doom. It contains a broken rake, a deflated basketball, and a bag of cement that has turned into a rock. Why do we keep the cement rock? I might crush it up and use it. No, you won't. You are hoarding heavy trash. It is time to admit defeat, my friend. The pile system relies on memory. You think you know the holiday lights are in the bottom box. They are not. That box is full of old tax returns. To find the Christmas lights, you must move the lawnmower, 3 bicycles, and a kayak you have used exactly 0 times in the last 4 years. This is the barrier method. You put the things you need behind a wall of things you hate. It is self-sabotage. It is an architectural cry for help. And let's talk about the mystery jars. You have 20 jars filled with random rusty screws. You don't know what they fit, but you keep them. Why? You are afraid that the moment you throw away that one bent screw, the universe will present a situation where you need exactly that bent screw. Spoiler alert, that day never comes. You are just running a museum for oxidized metal. Throw the jar away. It is liberating. Feel the freedom. The don't organize like this, rule number 1. Do not use cardboard boxes on the floor. Concrete sweats, cardboard rots, termites, rejoice. When you lift that soggy box in 3 years, the bottom will fall out. Your college textbooks will spill onto the floor. Silverfish will scatter. Plastic bins are your friends, clear ones. If you can't see what is inside, it ceases to exist. It enters the garage void. The void eats your stuff. I once bought a new circular saw because I couldn't find my old one. I found the old one a week later. It was under a pile of deflated pool floats. This is the chaos tax. It costs you money to be disorganized. You buy duplicates. You buy triplicates. You own 4 hammers. Why 4? The garage should be a sanctuary, a place of creation. Instead, it is a dungeon where you store your guilt. I will fix that chair someday. No. If you haven't fixed the chair in 2023, you won't fix it in 2026. Firewood, turn it into firewood. Reclaim your space and your dignity. Another massive failure, the workbench dump. You have a workbench, but you can't see the surface. It is covered in half-finished projects. A flat surface in a garage is a magnet for clutter. If you leave a cup of coffee there, within an hour, it will be surrounded by mail and pliers. You end up working on the floor, hunched over like a goblin, because your $500 workbench is holding your recycling bin. This is madness. We need to vertical. We need to defy gravity. If your gear is touching the floor, you are losing the war. The walls are your biggest asset. But don't just hammer nails randomly into the drywall. That is the polka dot method. It looks ugly, and the nails eventually fall out. We are going to explore high IQ systems, systems that make you look like a mechanic for Formula 1, not a hoarder on a reality TV show. The first step to recovery is admitting your garage is a disaster. Say it with me. My garage is a danger to society. Now, let's fix the walls. So you want to use the walls? The first thing you grab is Pegboard. It's classic. It's brown. It reminds you of your grandfather's workshop. Pegboard is the gateway drug of organization. It seems cheap, but then you try to pull a tool off the hook, and the hook flies off too. You spend half your life picking pegboard hooks up off the floor. You try those little black plastic clips to lock them, they break instantly. Plus, pegboard is weak. Hang a sledgehammer on it. The board bows out like it's doing a bad yoga pose. Eventually, it tears right off the wall. Stop using masonite pegboard. It drinks moisture from the air. In humid garages, it swells up and turns into soggy cardboard mush. Gross. Then there is slat wall, the stuff they use in retail stores. It looks clean. It looks professional. It costs more than your first car. If you have infinite money, go for it. But the accessories, a single hook costs $12. You need 50 hooks. Do the math, cry. Slat wall is also heavy. You need a team of bodybuilders to install it. If you drop a panel on your foot, say goodbye to your toes. So pegboard is weak. Slat wall is expensive. What is the illegal IQ move? The system that is cheap, strong, and infinitely customizable. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the French Cleat. It sounds fancy. It is actually just a board cut at a 45-degree angle. It is pure genius. Gravity does all the work. The heavier the tool, the tighter the joint pulls together. It defies the laws of frustration. It never wobbles. Best of all, it's basically free. You can make an entire wall of cleats from one sheet of plywood. It is the Robin Hood of garage storage. You can build custom holders for everything. A specific holder for your drills. A specific holder for your tape measure. It is bespoke luxury. Unlike Pegboard, if you want to move a tool, you just lift the holder and move it. No clips to loose, no hooks to drop. It is modular freedom. You will become addicted to making holders. You will see a glue bottle and think, I can build a cleat for that. You will cleat your cat. Warning, do not cleat your cat, but do cleat your battery chargers. Get them off the bench. Give them a permanent home on the wall. The aesthetic is industrial chic. It says, I built this with my own hands because I am a competent human being. It is a major ego boost. Metal pegboard is an acceptable alternative if you hate cutting wood. It is strong, it is magnetic, but it lacks the soul of the cleat. With Cleats, you can rearrange your entire shop in 5 minutes. Project change. Move the tools, it adapts to you, not the other way around. The weakness. Dust. The cleats form little shelves that collect dust. You will need to blow them off, but that gives you an excuse to use the air compressor. Don't organize your garage with systems that fight you. Pegboard fights you. Slatwall robs you. French Cleats support you. They love you. If you are renting, screw 2 vertical rails into the studs, then mount the cleats to that. Minimal holes to patch when you move out. Once you fill a wall with tools, you realize you have created art. It is a mosaic of destruction, a gallery of getting things done. We have fixed the walls, the floor is clearing up. But now we must address the elephant in the room. The giant metal box on wheels. Your toolbox drawers are a lie. They are junk drawers disguised as professional storage. Prepare to open the drawer of shame. Open your miscellaneous drawer. Go ahead, I'll wait. It smells like old grease and regret, doesn't it? That is the scent of failure. Inside, you find a dried-up Sharpie, 3 AA batteries probably dead, and a tangle of wires that belongs to electronics you threw away in 2015. This is not storage. This is a landfill with handles. If you have to dig to find a screwdriver, you are doing it wrong. Digging is for dogs. Do not organize your drawers by dumping. Dumping is easy. Dumping feels good in the moment, but future you will hate present you for it. The don't organize like this rule, never let tools touch each other. When tools touch, they conspire to hide, they tangle, they breed rust. You need shadow foam, Kaizen foam, the stuff assassins use in movies to organize their sniper rifles. It is the gold standard of drawers. You trace your tool, you cut the foam, you peel it out. Now, that wrench has a home. A specific, padded, luxurious home. It sleeps there. When you open the drawer, it looks like a surgeon's tray. You feel professional, you feel calm. The chaos in your brain quiets down. The best part, the missing tool alert. If a spot is empty, you see the bright foam color underneath. It screams, hey, you lost the one OMM. You cannot close the drawer until the hole is filled. It triggers your OCD in the best possible way. It forces you to be disciplined. Foam is expensive. Fine, use plywood. Use 3D printed bins. Use Gridfinity. Just use something that stops the slide. The slide of death happens when you slam a drawer shut and everything crashes to the back. It sounds like a car crash in a tin can. Don't store screwdrivers flat. They take up too much room. Store them vertically if you can, or in a rack. Flat screwdrivers are space hogs. And for the love of all that is holy, throw away the mystery keys. You know the ones. The tiny hex keys that came with furniture you bought in 2008. You will never use them. They are made of soft cheese metal. They strip bolts. They are enemies of progress. Ban them from the drawer. Label the drawers. Do not trust your memory. Pliers, wrenches, hammers. If you don't label, you will open every drawer looking for one thing. I labeled my junk drawer the Abyss. It didn't help organize it, but at least it was honest. Honesty is the first step to healing. Organize by usage, not by type. Put the tools you use every day in the top drawer. Put the specialized weird stuff at the bottom. You don't need the pipe wrench in the top drawer. You are not Mario. You are not fixing plumbing daily. Banished it to the depths. Magnets again? Magnetic drawer liners? They keep the sockets standing upright like little soldiers. Discipline in the ranks. If you organize your drawers right, you can tell someone top drawer, left side, and they will actually find it. It saves shouting matches. A disorganized toolbox is a heavy coffin for tools. They go in there to die. An organized one is a cockpit. But you're the pilot. Once the drawers are tamed, you will feel a surge of power. But do not get cocky, because we still have to deal with the overheads. The ceiling is the final frontier. It is also the place where heavy objects hang above your car, waiting for gravity to strike. Let's talk about the guillotine method of overhead storage. Spoiler, it ends with a dented hood and a broken windshield. Look up. See that bicycle hanging by a $2 hook? That is not storage. That is a kinetic weapon targeting your windshield. It is the sword of Damocles. We love overhead storage because it uses dead space. But if you install it wrong, the dead space becomes dead you. Gravity is undefeated in the ring. The don't organize like this rule. Never use drywall anchors on the ceiling. They are designed for pictures, not for 50 pounds of camping gear. If you don't hit the joisted wood skeleton of the house, you are just trusting a layer of chalky paper to hold your life together. It will fail. I saw a guy hang a kayak using old shoelaces. It holds fine, he said. 2 weeks later, his car, who'd looked like a crushed soda can, total disaster. Hoist systems are popular. You pull a rope, the bike goes up. But do you know how to tie a knot? Be honest, if you don't, that rope is slipping. The rope burn incident is real. The bike slips. You grab the rope, it shreds your hands. Now you have no bike and no skin. 0/10ths experience. If you must go overhead, buy the heavy-duty racks, the steel ones. They bolt into the studs. They look like they could hold an engine block. But here is the trap. You put heavy boxes up there. I'll save this for later. Then, 10 years later, you have to lower a 50-pound box while on a ladder. Lifting heavy weight overhead while standing on a wobbly aluminum twig is a great way to meet an orthopedic surgeon. Don't do it. Overhead racks are for light stuff only. Christmas wreaths, empty coolers, pillows. If it hurts when it falls on your head, don't put it up there. Also, label the bottom of the bins. If the label is on the lid, you can't see it from the floor. You will be staring at gray plastic butts. Use big masking tape. Write XMAS in giant marker. If you have to climb the ladder just to check what is in the box, you have failed the IQ test. The space above the garage door is prime real estate. It is the penthouse apartment of storage, but the door moves. Watch the clearance. If your garage door catches a fishing rod stored up there, it will snap it like a twig. It sounds like a gunshot. I learned this the hard way. Dust. Let's talk about dust. Anything stored near the ceiling becomes a dust magnet. When you retrieve it, you trigger a dirt avalanche. Use airtight bins. If you use cardboard up there, the spiders will move in. They love the high ground. It is their kingdom now. When you pull down a spider-infested box, you will panic. You will drop the box. You will fall off the ladder. The spider will laugh at you. If you are rich, lazy, get a motorized lift. You press a button, the rack comes down. It feels like you are Batman in the Batcave. For the rest of us peasants, we use a stick with a hook to pull things down. It is less cool, but it works. Just don't drop the stick on your car. The don't organize like this summary. Don't put heavy, sharp, or liquid things on the ceiling. Imagine an earthquake. What falls on you? If the answer is paint cans, you are insane. Paint cans fall, explode, and coat your car in antique white. It is modern art nobody wants. We have secured the perimeter. Walls are cleated, drawers are foam padded, ceiling is safely loaded. But one messy enemy remains. The fluids, the sprays, the chemicals, the stuff that leaks, smells, and catches fire. The explosive corner needs our attention. Grab your gas mask. We are going into the chemical zone. It is time to organize the stuff that can literally burn your house down. Every garage has the shelf. The shelf with a half-empty can of WD-40, a crusty bottle of wood glue, and a mystery jar of turpentine from 1999. This isn't storage. It's a fire hazard waiting for a spark. If your garage smells like a chemical factory, you are doing it wrong. Your nose knows. Rule number 1, do not store paint on the floor. The metal cans rust from the bottom up. One day you lift it, and the bottom stays on the floor. Splat. Rule number 2, aerosol cans are little missiles. If they fall and hit the valve, they turn into rockets. I saw a can of spray paint pierce a drywall ceiling. Organize them. Use a shoe rack. Yes, an over-the-outer shoe organizer. It fits spray cans perfectly. It is cheap. It is effective. It is ugly but genius. Or build a French cleat rack. Remember, Section 2. Store them horizontally. No, vertically. Always keep the nozzle up so it doesn't clog. The shake test? Pick up a can. Shake it. If it doesn't rattle, it is dead. Throw it away. Do not hoard empty metal cylinders. Glue with glue freezes. If you live where it gets cold, your glue will turn into a useless cottage cheese block. Bring it inside for the winter. If the cap is glued shut, do not use your teeth to open it. You will glue your mouth shut. It sounds funny. It is medically expensive. Wipe the nozzle before you close the lid. It takes 2 seconds. If you don't, next time you need pliers to open the bottle. It is a vicious cycle. Oil and gas. The red jugs, do not keep them near the water heater. That is how you make the evening news. Local man explodes garage. Use a metal cabinet for flammables. If a fire starts, the cabinet buys you time. It contains the beast. A wooden shelf just feeds the beast. Mystery fluids in unmarked jars. Is it water? Is it acid? Is it old lemonade? If you don't know, treat it like toxic waste. Label everything. Use a Sharpie. Write the date. Gasoline, December 2024. Gas goes bad. Bad gas kills lawnmowers. Dead lawnmowers cost money. Rags. Oily rags can spontaneously combust. Seriously, they heat up as they dry and poof. Fire. Store them in a metal can with a lid. Narrator, I keep a fire extinguisher right by the door. Not buried behind the bikes. By the door, you run to the door, grab it, and fight. Check the gauge. If the needle is in the red, it is a paperweight. A fire extinguisher that doesn't work is just a cruel joke. Paper towels. You need a holder. If the roll sits on the bench, it will get knocked over into an oil puddle. Then you have an oily paper log, the ultimate chemical hack. Buy in bulk, but decant into smaller bottles. You don't need a 5-gallon drum of soap on the workbench. It is unwieldy. So, we have covered the floor, the walls, the drawers, the ceiling, and the chemicals. Your garage is no longer a chaotic dungeon. It is a workspace, a place of peace. You can park your car inside. Imagine that. Your neighbors will think you moved out. Don't organize your garage like a hoarder. Organize it like a pilot, like a surgeon, like someone who respects their own time. It takes 1 weekend of pain to get a lifetime of gain. Put on some music, order a pizza, throw away the rusty junk. You can do this. If you enjoyed this attack on your personal clutter, smash the like button. If you are currently looking at a pile of junk, comment, "Help me." I'm Sketch Eclipse. Go clean your room. I mean your garage. See you in the next one.